What's the most important thing when I'm entering the unknown territory of buying my first house?
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
I'm Yetta Decker.
I'm Leah Dixon.
And we're welcoming you, and excited to actually welcome you to another episode of The Inside Track, where we share techniques, thoughts, and tools that we all need, that we all deserve. You, I, everyone, so that we can turn our house into home where our families thrive and we live the best life possible. Hugely important. I'm going to say the number one thing so that you can thrive in unknown territory is having a guide that you trust. You got to like them, obviously. You got to know them. And if you don't trust them, run. I'll tell you to run.
That's great advice, Yetta.
I know. Right? Because if you have 6 guides, you're in trouble.
Well, exactly. Then you're going to get conflicting opinions and you're going to get even more confused.
And then what ends up happening most of the time with too many guides?
Too many guides, well, then you make poor decisions.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Really bad decisions. And we don't want that for you. We don't want that for you. We don't want that for somebody you know. We don't want that for somebody that you like. And we don't even want that for somebody that you don't like so much. Because that happens, right? Like, we don't love everybody that, we know. And yet you still may introduce them to the Decker team because you think we're going to like them. And hopefully we will.
Hopefully we do, yes.
And hopefully they like us. And then there's that whole trust thing is essential. And so on this episode.
Yes, this episode is exciting to me. This is something I absolutely love. I love working with new buyers. I love the whole buying process and helping people to move forward with their decisions. It's so much fun. I love it, Yetta.
I know you do. And it's interesting. So on this episode, you're going to learn how to thrive. And what's that first step to take?
The very first step is to contact the Decker team.
There you have it. Now, that is if it feels good to you. Like if you already have somebody that you've worked with again and again and again, and you love how they've taken care of you or your family, then you know what? That may be your best choice. We're encouraging you to make the best fit. Now, we do love that we get to provide information on these shows and insight and stories. And if you go, yeah, they're my people. They're my people. And if it feels good to you, yes, please call the Decker team. The number's all over the place. You can find us. Should I even say it? No, I'm not even going to bother. You know how to reach us. DeckerTeam.com is pretty easy. Double K and Decker. But I think I said that to somebody the other day. I was checking in at a hospital. And I said, it's double K. And she goes, yeah, I know. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was in a hospital checking in for something. So, yeah. Anyway, so if it feels good to you, reach out to the Decker team because we'd love to have that initial conversation with you. The first one's on the phone. That's where it starts, right? Like it's a quick little phone chat because if it doesn't feel good on the phone,
it's probably not going to feel good in person.
No. Right. And, there's no point in trying to force a foot into an undersized shoe.
Right.
And there's no point in forcing a relationship that just you don't feel great about.
Exactly. So that's a wonderful first step, reaching out. And after that, what will happen is our assistant will email something called the Right Fit Guide. And it basically just gives you some initial information about working with the Decker team and what you can expect from our meeting. So then we get to meet, and that's my favorite part.
I know, you can't wait to get there, right?
I know.
So when our client care gal, who is all about caring for you, sends you the guide, there's going to be an important piece in that guide beyond us, you getting to know us and some links to a couple of extra inside track shows that we're pretty sure, based on the phone conversation we've had with you, are the ones that you're going to want to watch before we even meet so that you're prepped, you're knowledgeable, you've got great information. Even if you've talked to a whole lot of friends, I'm still going to encourage, take the time to watch the episodes that we send you.
Right.
And then you might want to even go onto our YouTube channel or onto our website and gather more information. If there's something you have particular interest to, go find all the shows on that. Right? Because then you'll just feel more comfortable and at peace. Then inside the guide, it's a little sneak peek behind the scenes. Inside the guide is a form that says things I must have in my house, things I'd like to have in my house. And we're going to encourage you to stick to 3 of each. And if there's 2 people, fine. If you don't agree, you can have 6 of each. And yet, the broader you make your criteria, the harder it is to find the right house.
Right. Well, that's one of the things we discuss in the meeting, too, how to narrow down that criteria.
Right. So you can put, I'm not going to say as many as you want, but, go with a good number on your initial list. But that's included in the guide so that you're prepared for when we sit down together.
Right.
Because in that meeting, beyond narrowing down the search criteria, what else are we going to get to talk about?
Well, there's a lot of things to talk about in that meeting. However, we do our best to not overwhelm people and just give them the information that they need at that time to get moving forward.
Right, because I tend to provide more if I'm going to err on one thing, and I've been told this a few times, so I'm sure if you know me, you already know this to be true. I'm going to give you too much information.
Right.
I feed you with a shovel from the yard instead of a teaspoon from the kitchen drawer. And that just is confusing.
It is. And the information goes both ways. What I really love about these meetings is that I get to know the people a little bit better. The individuals or the families get to know what's really important to them, what their motivation is for wanting to move. All of that is very helpful. And basically, we're making new friends when we meet with these new people. It's absolutely wonderful.
Partners, right?
Yes.
We become partners.
Right.
Then and there. And the great news is when you come for that first consultation, if we already said if it doesn't feel good on the phone, it's probably not going to feel good in the meeting. And let's say it doesn't feel good in the meeting for whatever reason, then we get to shake hands. Because if you're not watching this and you're listening, you can't see that we're actually shaking hands right now, but we are taking hands right now. We will part friends if it's not a good fit. And it's both sides. We're considering, can we do what you're asking us to do? What you say your criteria is, can we actually fulfill that? Right? We occasionally have people come in and they're lovely, they're delightful, love them to bits. And what they want from the market can't give them.
Right. And it's very important to be upfront and honest with them, even if it's something they don't want to hear.
Yeah. Like, do you want that? Do you want us to be like upfront, even if you don't want to hear it? Most people do. And those that don't probably decide we're not a good fit.
Right.
It's part of that whole fit conversation. So as important it is to find the right fit with the person, because then it lets us make sure we find you the right fit in the house.
Right.
Like, if the first part doesn't work, the second part is a moot point.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
I know, it's wild. And of course, you'll understand the paperwork too. We'll make sure you understand the paperwork. There's going to be opportunity to get an ebook as well, so that the information will be in front of you whenever you need it. So all the details are in here. You don't have to worry that just because we're not giving you every nuance of every detail in that meeting, that you don't have access to it, because you do. And strategy is what that meeting's all about, right? So we are so grateful that we get to grow wealth through real estate with you.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward